Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Basement Bookers podcast. This is Basement Chair, your basement champion, and Rich the Riz, the Pepper King of the East Coast. That's why he's adorned his chair with peppers, his necklace of peppers over there. Currently,
It's my temporarily retired Ulafala
the
until I
pepper
become
chain.
champion
It,
again.
it will not become a Ulafala until you are champion. For now, you are wearing the necklace of peppers. Ghost, be they red, whatever you want them to be, whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you sleep at night. But we're not talking about the Pepper King of the East Coast, the richest, baldest man. We're talking about Liv Morgan's injury. Liv
Injury.
Morgan's injury, not her knee, shoulder
Mm.
dislocation.
Mm.
Tournament developments: John Cena, CM Punk, LA Knight
Yeah.
versus the dangerous freaking snooze alliance. Goldberg's return, Asuka return, and how are we feeling about the current structure of, say, SmackDown, who is returning to 2 hours soon. The third hour, apparently USA has got like another show coming out that they want to put up.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be back to 2 hours very soon.
I thought they
So,
recently said that they wanted them to stay at 3 hours. I guess they're it's one of those situations where one hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing.
or like when they're like, no, we want 3 hours. And they're like, are you sure about that? And they're like, I don't know. I guess I can always go look and see. Maybe something we can have. I'll tell you what. And then they just did do that. So, yeah. And also, what's coming up? We have Night of Champions and Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, tentatively. There's some geographic stuff happening. But as of this, we don't know. We know that the show will go on, apparently. So let's just dive in here. Liv Morgan is going to be out for at least 6 months, I think.
I saw another report
Sources.
that said three. Maybe internally
Oh,
they're
maybe it is
thinking
3 months.
three.
All right, let's
I'm
just
hoping
assume it's
three.
3.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to miss Evolution. Apparently, they've had to change some things around. There's no plan to take the tag team titles off of Raquel and Liv. I think they'll just have Roxanne fill in for Liv. Is probably what Finn would suggest. Probably be like Pierce or all this, be like, listen, you don't have a partner. You're gonna have to vacate the championships. And Finn's like, wait, or he's like, I spoke to Pierce, and if you get a partner, and it just so happens we
But
have
she's right there.
Roxanne Perez.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
That would be interesting. I feel like that would definitely add to the turmoil within the clubhouse of the Judgment Day. I hate. I don't like the idea of like a substitute coming in, but I think it could certainly work with the creative dynamic that's going on with the turmoil that's going on there. It would be interesting. I'd be interested in seeing that. That being said, Roxanne Perez. Roxanne and Raquel as champs. It's okay.
It could be fun. They're like
It
polar
could be.
opposites. One's really tall, one's really little.
Mm-hmm.
She could throw around, use her as a weapon.
And like there's
Yep.
been clash between them already too. So
Yeah.
they certainly could make it interesting. I hope they do it well. I know it's obviously spur of the moment because no one planned that damn injury. Liv, get well soon, please. But they could make it interesting.
Personally,
Mm,
um, I think that you could pivot this easily. This is an opportunity for Raquel Rodriguez to kind of, get out there, shine up a little bit, like a dynamic with like an odd couple dynamic,
mm-hmm,
with her and Roxanne Perez.
mm-hmm.
It could be that her and Roxanne Perez have more in common than her and Liv do. Maybe they'll do better than
Yeah,
they did.
maybe by the time Liv comes back, Raquel and Roxanne could buddy up a little bit.
Yeah, like injuries are bad,
Mm-hmm,
but if you have a talented writers team, if you have talented creative,
mm-hmm,
it could make Liv a bigger star when she eventually makes her return.
mm-hmm,
Like this is the same as what happened with kind of when Rhea Ripley got hurt.
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean? But a little bit different. This was more like a freak accident. This wasn't, scripted in. Rumor is that Nikki Bella was supposed to be involved in the Kyrie Sane Liv Morgan match somehow.
mm,
Maybe cost her it, so Nikki never showed because of what happened.
right.
And
That happened less than a
that's where
minute
we're
into the
at there.
match.
Yeah. So we're not going to even know. Well, hopefully we find out what the plan was.
Mm-hmm,
But right now, we don't know what they were going to do. But apparently, like Liv and Nikki was supposed to factor heavily into evolution.
mm-hmm,
My suggestion is to bring in, like, as it's getting closer, you need to bring in more women. You need to bring in more surprises.
mm-hmm,
You need Soraya. You bring Soraya, you bring Paige back.
mm,
You bring her back at least for like one and done, you know, and still utilize her better than she was in AEW,
mm-hmm,
for this evolution thing.
mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I think that'd be a great idea. Like even if it is just a one and done, like for honestly, for all we know, she didn't do a lot in the ring in AEW because maybe her doctor's like, yeah, you can wrestle, but maybe not often. I don't know. Um, Sources nowhere near the situation tell us anything. So,
I think the creative was just bad.
well,
If you
that.
wanted to put her in, that's the thing. Like their style, I don't think it's safe enough to do a lot of matches like that. Like if she was somewhere else
Mm-hmm.
where they protect you more, and it's like I say this as we just finished talking about Liv Morgan's freak accident. We also had Zoe Stark's accident.
Both
It
freak accidents.
yeah, it happens in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
But what you could do is, and yes, the common denominator is Kyrie Sane was involved, but that has nothing to do with anything. It's just bad luck.
Yeah.
Like nobody wants anybody to be hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But you could have her wrestle like a different style. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
you could have her first of all put her in there with a professional. Somebody who knows what they're doing
Mm-hmm.
and wrestle. You could protect her. You know what I mean? It's not UFC.
Mm-hmm.
You can make her as strong or as weak as you want to,
Mm-hmm.
and just have people bump around for her. And there you go. You're off to the races. You could have Paige and I don't know, maybe Roxanne Perez. She's small enough. What could she do to her? You know what I mean? Knock
Look,
wood. But
I
like
mean,
it's wrestling. Like I said, anything can happen. What can you do to yourself?
look what
Whatever.
Sasha did to
Sorry,
her.
I
Just
forgot.
saying.
Yes. Mm, listen, let's not. I believe she got like another championship
Yeah, was it
recently.
CMLL?
Yeah. So here's the thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to briefly speak on that. And my problem with Mercedes is all these collection that doesn't help anyone. She's not helping anyone. You can't compare her to say a Roman Reigns who helped people. You
Hmm.
know, Drew won't admit it, but it helped him. Sammy, all the bloodline, everybody who fought the bloodline, Kevin Owens, everybody ate. The only people eating is Mercedes Moné. And I'm sorry if I brought her up. I know
Hmm.
she has nothing to do with Sasha Banks, but they have
Right.
similar styles,
Yeah.
obviously.
I don't. So I don't. I agree and I disagree. Okay.
Okay,
So
interesting.
I agree that like you can't compare Roman and Mercedes Moné. Roman was in the one place doing the one thing on top for what 3 4 years, whatever it was.
And it's just the
Mercedes,
WWE championships.
right? But you know, and we know WWE is the big one, right? New Japan Pro Wrestling is its own thing. It's its own huge entity. CMLL is its own thing. It's a large entity as well. But I kind of compare what Mercedes is doing to what Kenny was doing when he was the belt collector. And what I mean by that is if fans are exposed to the Mercedes character, the Kenny Omega character, but maybe they don't know about these other smaller promotions. Maybe they'll be like, "Oh, what's that title? Who did she win it from? Oh, let me see that match. Oh, that was a really good match. Who did she just win the belt from? Oh, what's that? CML. Okay, let me look at some of those some other stuff from them. Some of their other matches. It might bring new eyes to the product. Will individuals eat better because of it? Maybe not. The company might gain more viewers, gain more support as a result. How much will it move the needle? Maybe not so much. I feel like that's a time will tell kind of thing. But I feel like in the end, they're trying something. Like they're getting a lesser known belt in some parts of the world to certain types of viewers, like the more casual viewer. They're getting more eyes on it, which might bring more eyes to them. I think it might be worth what they're doing.
Okay, I guess so. That's a good explanation, and I think that makes sense. Maybe other people, because for me, I'm not doing that. I'm not looking into because, like, to me, they're just accessories. You know what I mean? So maybe
Also,
to your
you're aware of these other companies, and you're like, yeah, I'm not interested enough to watch. But maybe some people are.
maybe, yeah, and it's like a triangle. Okay, maybe you're thinking it's like a triangle. So right now she's on the left side of the triangle. She's coming up. She's grabbing belts and
Hmm.
whatever, and eventually she's gonna be at the top of the triangle, and then the belt's got to come off. So
Hmm.
then these places, maybe the person that lost it or whatever, they get the championship belt by beating her
Hmm.
for the title, and maybe they'll be a bigger star where they are.
Yeah, and
Maybe
again,
it's like,
that gets eyes on that person as well.
yeah, I just see her as a very selfish person, and I
Hmm.
don't like the fact that they're gonna have Tony Storm drop the belt to her, because that's next. Now they have an opportunity here
Hmm.
to prevent that
Hmm.
and have Tony Storm just win the match.
Yeah, that's certainly an option.
It's just who's got more creative stroke. Like, does Sasha's creative control trump the fact that Tony Storm's carried the women's division in AEW since she started
Hmm.
the timeless Tony Storm gimmick?
Yeah, I think it would be better for Tony Storm to keep the title, have Mercedes win every other title, but Tony's the only one she can't beat. And you know what? That's a feather in the cap for Tony, and it doesn't hurt Mercedes. And you know what?
Yeah.
That you can use that as a talking point later on. You further the storyline. Otherwise, it's like, okay, Mercedes has the big belt now. Then what?
Yeah.
Is
You
she going
look
to
at
lose each
Seth.
belt one at a time?
Exactly. That's. I think that's what it is. Like the triangle. Just get
Mm-hmm.
those belts back to where they belong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long her deal is for, but to your point, like how it is with Roman, like Seth somehow for some reason has his number.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason. I don't understand it. I think it's stupid. Obviously I'm biased.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just not even close. It's like it's mirrored. You can see it. So for example, I don't mean to skip, but we'll go to point 4. We'll talk about the LA Knight versus Rollins faction thing we're doing right now. So it looks like right now LA Knight's feuding with Seth Rollins and his guys.
Mm-hmm.
When SmackDown started, when I watched SmackDown and Paul Heyman comes out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how I watch SmackDown. So he comes out and he does the ladies and gentlemen. And then I'm sitting there and it's like he's doing the same thing for a lamer team.
Hmm.
I had to turn it off and come back to SmackDown later
Damn.
because I'm like, this does not interest me. And it's like, oh, well, you just said you prefer Roman over Seth. Yeah, but this feels like Bloodline with a Seth Rollins skin.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I don't care for it. And you got, like, I understand Braun Breaker. He
Mm-hmm.
does the bark, right? He bucks like when he comes out,
Mm-hmm.
when he's in the match.
Mm-hmm.
But you have him barking at people in backstage segments.
That was great.
It's really stupid.
He was like, "Don't
And
bite him."
I can't take you seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Like I understand it's all ha ha fun and games, but what are these guys then? Are these guys like muscle I'm supposed to take
Mm-hmm.
serious? Or it's just some fat fuck off the top rope and some barking moron. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's they're flanderizing them. They flanderize Braun Breaker. Oakley dokley. Woof, woof, woof. You know what I mean? They owe me.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to like this, like, feels like this slighted, jaded friend. She's just this crazy lady. You know, like,
Mm-hmm.
guys, you have an opportunity here and you're blowing it. So LA Knight,
Yeah.
you know, got, the brakes beat off him,
Mm-hmm.
And now it's him and Seth. Like, what are we doing? Are we going to see LA Knight on Monday Night Raw? They could move him there, but I think these guys might have a match. Maybe at Night of Champions. Looks like it's where it's leading.
Perhaps Night of Champions. Perhaps Saturday night's main event.
Do you
'Cause
like
both are coming up.
the LA Knight feuding with Seth right now?
It's interesting because I thought Seth wanted the power. I feel like it's a diversion for Seth. Also, one thing I like, just I'm with you, right? Like I'm not feeling this faction, the Dangerous Freaking Alliance, the allegedly Dangerous Freaking Alliance. Let's say that, right?
Yeah,
Because
something's
again,
missing.
the barking being a joke, and Bronson Reed. Okay.
Tsunabe. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I like is something we said about Heyman before, where Heyman is Seth's mouthpiece when he's not there. You said you didn't like Heyman coming out with the briefcase because it doesn't make sense. I feel like if Seth is just not going to appear, I like Heyman having the briefcase, reminding people that the briefcase is in play.
All right.
And maybe Heyman will come out with a briefcase, so fans and people will like, okay, so Seth's not here tonight. Cool. There can't be a cash-in. So maybe the champ lets his guard down. Champ gets beat down. Dangerous Freakin' Alliance comes in. More of a beatdown on the champ. Burn it down. And out he comes. Cash in.
Counterpoint.
Yep.
He comes out by himself with it. Why can't? What's to stop someone from beating the shit out of him and snatching that briefcase?
So on that point, to that point, when I was watching SmackDown earlier, when the briefcase was in the ring, Naomi and Nia were on the outside. Tiffany was in the ring. I said Tiffany should take the briefcase because Naomi can't cash in if she doesn't have the briefcase.
Yeah.
I would love to see a champ take a briefcase. Like,
Yeah, just take it.
come get it.
What?
Come
Like
get
what? Like you got Paul Heyman. Like the guys weren't around him. It was just him. What's to stop somebody just running out and taking it? I don't get it.
Yeah. This is. So Selena had asked before if anyone had ever taken the briefcase, and I thought back. I'm like, yes, that did happen. I don't remember who it was, but Del Rio had the briefcase, and someone chucked it into a river or something, and then we got the chocolate briefcase. You remember the chocolate briefcase?
That was Damian Sandow's.
Sandow, okay.
Sandow had the chocolate briefcase.
Yeah. I forgot he was Mr. Money in the Bank.
Yeah. That was back when him and Cody were hanging out, I believe.
Damn. Wayback Machine.
Yeah. I mean, I could ask about it if you want, like, because I don't remember a lot.
I trust your memory. I don't trust my memory. I trust your memory. I thought it was Del
remember
Rio,
because he's a fucking nerd. So, he would have that.
Mm-hmm.
But,
but I feel like it's been long enough that they could redo it. Just have the champ hold the briefcase. Have him walk around with it. Like, yeah, briefcase is in play, but I got it. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's kind of like when Brock was the champion, and then there was a briefcase. It's like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Unless you're Seth Rollins at WrestleMania or whatever. But that's not the point. The point is, I don't know what my point is, but yes, LA Knight, Seth Rollins, and the gang, they're doing it.
Ultimately, I kind of don't care about LA Knight versus Seth.
Oh, interesting.
I get that's kind of why I completely diverted there, because I find the concept of someone potentially just walking away with the briefcase.
Yeah.
More interesting.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now,
but yeah,
if Seth's not even there, maybe briefcase really isn't in play.
Maybe not. I don't think so. I think right now we're relatively safe from cash-ins. Okay, this will take us to point 5, Goldberg, which here on the podcast we've discussed that it would happen eventually, which is why we weren't too shocked when he came out. So Goldberg versus Gunther is going to be for the world title, so you don't have to worry about a cash-in until at least after July 11th or 12th, whenever that main event is. Okay.
I have a tab open here. That is
for,
July 12th.
There you go. You don't have to worry about John Cena because there's a plan for that, probably. I don't see John Cena dropping the belt at Night of Champions to CM Punk or, vice versa and having, Seth cash in over there. I don't think that's going to happen. So you don't have to worry about that for a little bit. I think SummerSlam, you can be concerned.
Yeah.
When it comes to the women, it could be next Friday it could be in Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they never did a cash in overseas for them.
True.
So you could have after Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton in their last woman standing match,
Mm-hmm.
Naomi come in and do the do on
Yeah,
whoever.
that I believe is actually on SmackDown.
Yeah, on SmackDown
Yeah. Okay.
next week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it could happen. And maybe if we don't have Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax anymore, maybe we can
Mm-hmm.
do, different matchups. Which leads us to King and Queen of the Ring.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, it's going to be Jay versus Cody Rhodes on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And the winner of that will face Randy Orton in the finals, which leads me to believe that it's Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Cody versus Randy. Winner gets a title match at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
It could easily be Jay versus Randy somehow. But either way, Randy's not winning King of the Ring. I don't think.
I don't think so either.
Because he already had his dance with John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
And that's done. So, I don't know. If I had to read the tea leaves here, I would say Cody gets by Jay. And then it's Cody versus Randy at Night of Champions.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of leaves Jay without a match. Maybe.
Hmm. So I think I still think that it's going to be Cody to take the belt back from Cena. So I think they're going to wait for that. Cena's got 6 months left. So I'm thinking maybe Survivor Series is when they do that. November.
So what do
Um,
you think they'll do with King of the Ring then? Because the winner gets a title shot at SummerSlam,
maybe
I
King
believe.
J.
So Jay versus Gunter for like a rematch.
Does it have to be of that same show? Why not Jay versus?
Why wouldn't he?
Why wouldn't he? Um,
That's
rematch Jay
true. I
versus.
mean,
Yeah, because we already got Randy versus Cena. So yeah, Jay is going to a rematch.
yeah, it could be Jay versus John Cena, but I don't know. Either one could work for me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
It's.
Jay ever has to be world champion again. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
He's still over. I don't
Yeah, I noticed more fans yeeting on SmackDown than I did on Raw. So maybe it was kind of they were just a little down on him on Raw, and they're picking it back up this week on
I think
SmackDown
it
rather.
was the adorable little girl eating with him, maybe. Maybe that's what did it. I don't know. I'm not a eater.
I know.
So Asuka, do you think she wins Queen of the Ring? Because it could be Asuka versus Io Sky at SummerSlam. Why not?
Honestly, both of these are a little tough for me to see. So the next semifinal match is Roxanne versus Jade. Now, by all accounts, in my mind, it should be Jade moving on. But someone backstage, I don't know if Booker T knows where the bodies are buried or what. Someone wants Roxanne pushed. You know what? Maybe Jade does win, but it's because maybe Raquel tries to help her and fails, or something
Hmm.
like that. There's some sort of shenanigan, and Jade is able to pull it out, hit Jaded, and put her away.
What if
Mm-hmm.
we do that?
Mm-hmm.
Or what if Naomi screws Jade and Roxanne gets by? And
I
it's
hate it.
Roxanne versus Asuka.
Is Naomi and Jade the new fight forever?
Wait, does that make sense? Would Asuka wind up facing, like, how's that work? Because Asuka's on the Raw side of things. Isn't it usually wind up like a Raw person versus a SmackDown person?
Doesn't
So
have to be.
maybe, yeah, it doesn't have to be, right? So it could be Jade versus Asuka then.
Mm-hmm. You know
Well,
what?
this is tough.
Given that, I think it's going to be Roxanne beating Jade. Another stupid roll up after a surprise pop rocks, which I
Or a
hope Jade doesn't
briefcase
hurt
shot to
herself
the
doing.
mouth.
Something.
All right. Yeah, because I think Asuka just coming back, you should send her to the final.
Yeah,
You know?
Asuka's doing the makeup. She seems to be in that badass gimmick again. Run with it. Badass Asuka is the move. I love
Let's go
badass
with
Asuka. She
that.
got the music back too.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. So we've covered tournament developments.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about Asuka.
Asuka.
It's now time to talk about John Cena versus CM Punk. So on Friday, now there's a lot here. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of nerdy wrestling shit that's about to come over here. There's a lot of parallels to a certain promo, even the setup to even get there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess I should start with the original pipe bomb thing. So, long story short, it was John Cena versus R-Truth. And R-Truth, and whatever happened, happened.
Mm-hmm.
And John Cena was through a table.
Yep.
And he was laying there pretty uncomfortable. And then the pipe bomb happened. We don't have to regurgitate it. We all know the pipe bomb. We know how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
This Friday night, last Friday night, it was Truth versus Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Cena got himself disqualified.
Mm-hmm.
Hit Ron Killings with the belt.
Mm-hmm.
And then Punk comes in. Cena takes care of him. Puts him through a table. Put him right in the middle of the Slim Jim table. Slim Jim logos on either end now.
Yep. They snapped
And
that
then
table.
I have here the transcript. So, because there's copyright involved, so otherwise I would have put the audio. But these guys, they strike for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna put it over. So Cena's sitting on the turnbuckle. He's not like sitting, native style on the ground, or as they like to call it, pipe bomb position that I just made up. All right. So, and John Cena, he says, Punk, as you lay there and you're most uncomfortable, somebody is afraid of what I'm going to say. I hope you can listen.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you can digest, because before I leave here in 6 months with the WWE Championship, I got to get a whole lot of stuff off my chest. First things first. I don't hate you. I just like you. I like you. I like you more than anyone you've ever shared a locker room with, that's for sure. I hate this idea of you. This idea that you're the best in the world. You're not. I'm the greatest of all time. You're better than me at one thing. You're the best bullshitter in the world. Oh no, kiddos. John Cena just dropped a curse word. That means the show is completely off the rails. Hey, Stu, shoot this. I'm breaking the fourth wall. Ha ha.
Mm.
The truth is, Punk, I'm jealous of you. I am jealous that you have conned these people into believing the myth that you're the best in the world. And then he proceeds to. Now, he flips Punk's 2011 hype cult Cabana with,
Mhm.
hey, Claudio Castagnoli. Hey, Nick Nemeth. Hey, Matt Cardona. How you doing?
All guys that were future endeavored.
Right. And a lot of people, I'm going to, on X. Now, there's reaching,
Hmm.
and then there's reaching. Okay? They're
Hmm.
like, oh, if you look at the initials, he's really referring to Nick and Matt Jackson and Colt Cabana because the letters, guys, the letters in the front. And it's like, no, stupid. He's just referring to those people that they know. And then
Yeah.
Cena continues.
Hmm.
Your promo potato salad, pal. I like the pal part 'cause it's very Vinnie Mac there.
Yep.
Hey, you're no longer the voice of the voiceless. You're a freaking millionaire, despite yourself. You're not Punk. You're a capitalist, and you're not against TKO, dude. You are Mr. TKO because they knocked your balls technically off your body. Your tweets are strong. Your actions are weak.
Hmm. Definitely referring to when Punk years ago was referring to Saudi Arabia blood money, and now he's got that money in his hands.
Yeah. So here we are. I thought Cena did a good job.
He
I
should have
liked
flat
it.
out called him a hypocrite. I don't know why he beat around that bush.
I think it's too simple. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's like that I felt is a little bit better, you know? And I thought because we're used to the way Punk does things, the way Cena is now, I think he cooked them. Honestly, I think right now Cena's ahead when it comes to that promo shit because what can Punk really do that hasn't been done by other people?
Hmm.
What's he
Punk,
gonna do? He gonna call John Cena an empty-headed fuck? I don't know.
I'm gonna take a hot take here, and I think you'll agree. But some people, the Punk fans, are gonna get pissed off. I'm a Punk fan. I like Punk. Punk peaked with the pipe bomb.
Dang.
The it was revolutionary for the time. Even though we were like that was a work, wasn't it? Like we knew it was a work, but we didn't know how much of a work. But it made you question. I feel like current day and age, we know just about everything we see on TV is a work, except for what was it? Tiffany and Charlotte. We knew that
Something's
someone
going
pissed,
on.
yeah, someone pissed someone off there, and they couldn't handle that shit.
I think it's two alphas. That's simple there, right? They're two
Ti
alphas, and
Tiffany and
it's like,
Charlotte.
yeah.
Tiffany needs the seasoning. Tiffany needs seasoning. Charlotte is alpha. Tiffany needs seasoning.
Well, she's the champion.
She is a champion.
So at the time when they were feuding,
Mm,
that's what I mean. Like, as
yeah.
the champion, you're the alpha,
Mm,
and Charlotte's just an alpha because she does the thing.
mm,
She's got the championship more than anybody else
yeah.
in the women's division.
Yeah. Charlotte
Um,
has the clout. She has the legacy. Tiffany's still building hers. Punk has been good since the pipe bomb. It's a big standard to try and reach again.
Not gonna lie, I think it's cringe every time he sits cross-legged. It's like, no, the one you did it, you did it. You're not
Hmm.
doing that anymore because it's like you're the I didn't do it boy.
Hmm.
You're using your your shtick thing. Look at me, I'm sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when I did this? And and
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna like try to. He's like, I'm not gonna bomb you, John Cena. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
nuke you from orbit, and then just lay out all this crazy shit. Like, what
Mm-hmm.
could you really do outside of mentioning the old man and how much he pushed Cena? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't really hurt him.
Yeah. I think every time Punk sits cross-legged like that, all the little fanboys get a little woody. You know,
Yeah, they're like, oh
they're
my
all,
god,
oh, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna say? What's he gonna say? What's
he's
he gonna
gonna
say?
say something.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, exactly. The Vince meme.
yeah.
It's uh, do what you gotta do to get over on social, I guess.
I
But
like the current CM Punk.
hmm
He's grown a bit, but at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure he speaks out of both sides of his mouth. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like I
hmm
said, I've known people like CM Punk my whole life.
mm
So I know a little bit. And, he's just one of those guys. And he's older, and some might say he's a little bit wiser.
hmm
But at the end of all of it, I'm glad he's here because then we can have, all of this.
hmm
Where the fuck is Roman Reigns? You know what I mean? Like, neither
hmm
hide nor hair. We're probably not going to hear from him until SummerSlam.
yeah,
And to your point about Seth, how, Heyman is around with the briefcase because Seth's not around. That doesn't make any sense to me because the whole point of aligning himself with Seth Rollins was that he was always going to be around. Because Roman left him to fend for himself.
hmm
And Roman technically didn't. Like Jimmy was there.
hmm
He didn't know the bloodline was going to do that to him.
hmm
But, he still didn't, come to help him.
hmm Which
But
reminds me, real quick, I don't know if this is adjacent, but are we gonna get Jimmy and Jacob versus Solo and JC?
maybe after the United States Championship match,
hmm
you might, you might have Jimmy and Jacob, like this could lead to, Jimmy, Jacob, Roman, Sammy,
I feel like
Jay.
I feel like they
Basically,
could.
Bloodline replaced Solo with Jacob.
Yeah, I feel like there's an opportunity here for them to build Jimmy up the way they built Jay differently though. But like you should have Jimmy little brother Solo, big brother him, whatever the phrase, you know? The Solo's the little brother. You can elevate Jimmy. Jimmy can get over as much as Jay. They just gotta sort of commit to it.
Well, Jay stole his catchphrase, so he's gotta just come up with his own thing now. He had no yeet for a while. You can't really get mad at him for that.
He could still no yeet.
I guess so, but everybody's pro yeet,
Mhm.
and he's a baby face, right? So he kind of has to toe the line there, right?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think it could be done. He maybe something else besides yeet or no yeet.
Yeah,
Yeet is
I don't know,
fun. It's fun
man.
to yeet. Everyone loves yeeting. You don't love yeeting. That's fine. To each their own.
It's
To yeet their own,
I
if you
I
will.
think you need more than 4 letters and an
One
arm
word.
motion.
Uh. Yeet. He's got the crowd doing the
Yeah,
now too.
yeah, crazy. We got all that yeet. Cody said 0 words on
hmm
Friday. So that
He
leads
didn't
me to
even
believe
ask us what we want him to talk about.
no, because everybody came out interrupting his ass.
hmm
I think, you know what, now that I think about it, I think Cody should win now. After all of that, all those interruptions, I
hmm
feel like he got beat up in a promo battle. That wasn't a promo battle.
hmm Cody
So
started the segment, said nothing. Everyone else talked.
that's it. And I think his actions on Monday are going to speak louder than anything. I'm assuming it's the main event, and we'll find out
Gotta be
what
Cody versus Jay.
yeah, two former
Mm-hmm.
world champions
Best
facing
buds.
off.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Drinking bros.
Yeah, maybe you should like load him up with Wheatley, and you know what to do. You could just get him drunk,
Mm-hmm.
and then he blows himself up yeeting. It's very easy. Like it writes itself.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, I think I'm gonna pick Cody for that.
I could sort of envision. I don't want this, but I could envision them coming up with like a sponsored by Wheatley's vodka, whatever. Wheatley's last man standing match. Maybe have it have nothing to do with wrestling.
And she's feuding.
Mm,
I mean, feeding
mm,
Naomi's alcoholism because she's drinking Wheatley. She was filling like a little flask in her briefcase with Wheatley's,
mm.
and
You
it's
know what?
like,
That gives it some extra weight for swinging.
yeah, apparently in her briefcase is also like extra caution tape.
Oh, you need your extra caution tape. I mean, but
And
if you
the
have a wardrobe
contract's in
malfunction,
like the little when you open the briefcase, the little pocket there, you can see like a
hmm
piece of paper
hmm
sticking up there.
I like the idea of, or like the head canon of it's like, oh, it's a wardrobe malfunction, so caution. There's some
She's an
caution tape
unstable
around
lunatic,
it.
and just don't flanderize actual interesting, gimmicks.
Mm.
There was layers to Naomi's madness, and now
Yeah,
I feel like she's become like a cartoon version. She's
yeah.
just crazy lady.
One thing that bugs me, she called out the fact that Nia Jax was like the bane of her existence, right? For a
Yeah,
while. And now, anytime Nia is between her and the champ, she backs down. Like, I don't care if you're of the same alignment that don't make you friends. She's intimidating you out of trying to cash in your money in the bank when you can. You gotta do something about Naomi, about Nia Jax.
yeah. I think the last man standing is her opportunity
Mm-hmm.
because if she's disabled, she
Mm-hmm.
can't stop her,
Yeah.
and that would be like her only opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe doing that. And plus, there you go. The money in the bank's gone. The
Mm-hmm.
women's one doesn't really last that long usually.
Yeah.
Um,
Very often that happens same night.
yeah. And the irony of Tiffany Stratton being cashed in on after maybe winning a match against Nia Jax,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be kind of cool
Mm-hmm.
because she stole that technically.
Yep.
And now it's, what goes around comes around. Usually it's not
Mm-hmm.
the baby face getting their comeuppance. But I say do this, set up Naomi as a threat,
Mm-hmm.
and you got all these opportunities. A heel champion.
Mm-hmm.
You could start bigging her up for the eventual Jade Cargill confrontation, the eventual Bianca Belair
Mm-hmm.
confrontation, all those things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Heel, Naomi, champ, Money in the Bank off the table at that point. Jade would be the big contender.
It's time for Big Jim. Like you said, let's get Big Jim
Mm-hmm.
out there doing stuff. Could we have, very quickly, because I was just thinking about it,
Mm-hmm.
Ron Killings and Aleister Black in a match? You know,
Perhaps.
it's an interesting interaction.
Yeah,
Poor
like
Pretty Deadly got beat up by an angry
mhm.
Ron Killings.
Yeah. Apparently, the other one is hurt. So it was Kit Wilson was the one that got beat up. So Elton Prince is hurt.
Yeah, that sucks, man. Well, I guess Wyatt Six tag team championship opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Who's ready for some goofy shit with your tag team champions? You think they'll take the belts off of the Street Profits for the Wyatt Six? Like, and which two? Is it gonna be Loomis and the Rabbit guy, or is it gonna
Gacy.
be? Yeah, because I'm thinking like Dexter's got to be one of them. Would it be him and Rowan? Like I don't know.
It looks like
Or
it looks like it'll be Loomis and Gacy. Um, they absolutely could and maybe even should
Freebird.
pair Rowan
Oh,
with either Loomis or Gacy because he's got the tag championship experience. You know.
I would say
Mm-hmm.
Freebird with Bo Howdy,
Mm-hmm.
Rowan, all of them,
Mm-hmm.
with the exception, of course, of Sister Abigail Cross.
Yeah.
And just do it that way, because then it's like it's even worse. Not only are they crazy people, you don't know who you're dealing with
Mm-hmm.
any given match. And for the big matches, since Rowan has experience as a tag team champion, you would obviously put him in it
Mm-hmm.
and whoever,
I
you
could see
know?
Rowan chucking Gacy at people.
Yeah, you could do that,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I figure him as like a younger guy,
Mm-hmm.
he would be the guy. As far as I know, I think Gacy's like NXT, like from the get. I don't know where he's from,
Well, we
but
saw Gacy in Evolve, remember?
oh, that's right, we did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Evolve is the same thing, kinda. You know, that's like it's like the
And it was
farm
yeah, it was pre
for
NXT because
NXT.
Johnny was on that show, Austin Theory was on that show, Street Profits. I don't remember if it was the same show, but we saw them there as well.
Street
Gunther
Profits
had come
wrestled.
down. Yeah, I just don't
Yeah,
remember if it was the same show. We
because
went
we
to two
saw.
or three.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so all right, we got that tag team. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know what else you would do with those guys anyway.
Mm-hmm.
With this spooky shit.
To be honest, like the later years of the Wyatt family, they kind of weren't doing a lot as far as making them like serious contenders. Like they were there, they get to a high profile match and then job out to put someone else over, to advance someone else's storyline. I kind of hope they don't do the same with the Wyatt Six because it like yeah, you got to have veterans. Like everyone, like in every match, there's someone putting someone over. I get that, but is that like why is that like that doesn't have to be their legacy? Give them titles.
You know, they could be like the first team to defend the titles twice in one night if you think about it. If you do Freebird rules.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the two here they do that, and then the other two do the next one or whatever. That's like oh interesting. I just don't know if they would do that. I don't know if Triple H would be a fan of that. I know one guy will be a fan of that.
Yeah.
Well, me and a fabulous Freebird also. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
he's back
Yeah.
there, ain't he?
He's got to still be back there.
He's got to be. You can't get rid of that guy.
That wacky prick.
Yep. Well, I don't know. You got any other things you want to talk about? For
I just noticed that they put
AJ's got an
Jade.
intercontinental title opportunity. You know,
Who does what?
AJ because he beat
AJ.
JD. He's gonna. Yeah,
Oh yeah, Raw was a long time ago for me.
it was last Monday.
Um, AJ Styles is great. Like, yeah, he's a little slower than he was at his peak. He's still damn good. He's still freaking phenomenal. So I'm happy to see AJ in title picture. Give him the IC title. Go for it.
Sorry, you mentioned Jade. What were you saying?
Yeah.
We
On
interrupted you.
screen they paired. This is not the proper term, but whatever. They paired her with B-Fab and Michin
Oh
just on
yeah,
screen. It's like okay, they're all buddies. Cool. Is that
they watch TV
supposed?
the right way.
Yeah. Is that to give Michin and B-Fab a little credibility? Because like every time I see like Michin come out for a match, crowd kind of doesn't care. You know, she's
True.
not bad in the ring, but she's no Trish Stratus. She's certainly no oh I can't think of her name. Woman of a Thousand Holds. She was in
Oh,
Punk's
Serena
faction.
Deeb.
Yes, she's certainly no Serena
Straight
Deeb.
edge society.
Yeah, she's certainly no Serena Deeb. She's no, she's not really a Trish Stratus. She's not bad. She's a veteran. She's been doing it a while. She's not top tier. They pair B-Fab with Michin to sort of help elevate B-Fab. We need to see more of B-Fab. She was a little green last we saw her. You know, obviously everyone needs reps. Throw Jade in there. Now you got 3 tiers here. Jade just has the look, which is it's important in a televised product. She's seems to be constantly getting better in the ring. I'm happy about that. So it's like tier A, tier B, tier C. Like, I don't know. I want to see everyone get better. We need more women's tag teams. So if they're doing Michin and Fab, awesome. If they're going to be a faction, cool. If this is them working to them being a 3-woman faction, or if they're going to be adding people, cool. I'm glad for it. I like it. What
I
happened to
think
women's
it's really
factions?
about 2 women who want to make moves,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just chilling with a fellow traveler.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you could theoretically do something with them. It looks like they might be focused on the tag team championships.
Mm-hmm.
That could be where the problem could come, where it's like, listen, you need a partner, defend the championships, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe they could eventually drop them to be Fab and Michin.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that if you're not gonna give her another partner. You can't just have the women's tag team championships on Raquel and Liv, who's not there,
Right.
because you got Evolution coming. You got to have the women's tag titles defended.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so Julia's going to be the United States champion. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and she's going to be doing the thing there.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Yeah. Queen of the Ring, Evolution. It's a good time. I think there's still a lot of moves for them to make working up to Evolution. But of course, there are 2 shows in between now and Evolution. We got Nia Champions next week
And main event, right?
and main event the week after. Is it the week after? It's got to be the week after. Nia Champions is 28th, July 12th. So it's 2 weeks after. Saturday
Okay.
night's main event is 2 weeks after Night of Champions. So the hype in these shows, man. So Night of Champions so far. Yeah, we talked about all these matches. Randy Orton versus TBD, Oscar versus TBD, Cena Punk, Dom versus AJ, Jacob and Solo. Gonna be good. And then Gunther versus Goldberg. The only match so far for Saturday night's main event number 40, apparently.
Well, I hope Goldberg doesn't blow out both his knees doing his entrance.
Yeah.
That's the best we could hope for.
Mm-hmm.
If he shows up on Raw, that remains to be seen. Hopefully not, because you want him not to get hurt before the big day.
Yeah.
You know, if I know he's training for that big comeback,
Mm-hmm.
but it could be a disaster. But I would love to see Gunter jackhammer Goldberg.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I mean, if this is his last match,
Why not?
one could only hope. I
That's
just don't
right.
want anymore. You know? Then that's the way to go out. Go out on
Well,
your
that
own
sounds
sword.
good.
On your own sword, on your own shield, with your own move by Gunther.
I can't think of a better way to end the podcast on that little statement you did there.
Thank you.
You know? Yeah.
So, that being said, thanks for joining us. Thanks for checking us out. I know that more than half of you are not subscribed, so do us a solid. Hit that subscribe button right down below. Monday night, we will be live streaming along with Monday Night Raw, a little watch along, watch party, whatever you want to call it. So tune in right here, Basement Bookers on YouTube. You want to check this out every Monday. And then we're going to be Also all the PLEs. So yeah, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button so you know when we go live. Let us know what you think of the upcoming events. King, Queen of the Ring. Who you think's gonna win? Who's gonna advance? And as always, just got a party message for you.
Well, first of all, I wanted to attach something
Mm.
because we need to congratulate because somebody stepped up. Remember, I said we're looking for the 105th subscriber, and they
Ooh.
came. So now, congratulations. You can be number 106 if you subscribe right now. Right now. Just hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications. I'm doing this because YouTube says we need to beg. And I am begging,
Mm.
begging for that subscription. I'm begging for your subscription. So if you feel we've earned it, or even if you don't, I'll take it. We'll take it. It doesn't matter.
We don't mind pity.
I don't mind a spiteful subscription. You can subscribe out of spite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Just the match of life is scheduled for one fall. So make it count.
Do what the man says.
Follow the Bookers